friends, and welcome back to Bushels of Fun. Today I'm going to be reading to you one of my favorite characters, Franklin. We're going to be reading Franklin is Lost, written by Paulette Bourgeois and illustrated by Brenda Clark. Before we start the story Franklin is Lost, where do you think Franklin got lost? What was he doing there? How do you think he's feeling if he's lost? We're going to find out. Franklin could slide down a riverbank. He could count forwards and backwards. He could zip zippers and button buttons. He could even walk to Bear's house all by himself. But Franklin was not allowed to go into the woods alone. One day Franklin said, "I'm going to play at Bear's house." "All right," said Franklin's mother. "Be home for dinner by 6 o'clock." She showed him the time with the hands on the clock. "And Franklin," she warned, "do not go into the woods alone." Franklin raced down the path, over the bridge, and across the berry patch. Bear was there. Fox was there. Goose and Otter were there. "I'm here," huffed Franklin. "What are you playing?" "Hide and seek," shouted his friends. "And you're it." Franklin started counting. Hide and seek was his favorite game. He wasn't very fast, but he sure was very clever. He knew Bear always hid in the berry patch. Franklin looked around. He saw a shaggy paw swipe at a branch of berries. "I see you, Bear," he called. Franklin spotted Feather and Fur under the bridge. "I see you, Goose. I see you, Otter," he called. Only Fox was left to find. Franklin walked this way and that. He looked into bushes and searched under logs. He walked along the path and over the bridge, and without even thinking, he walked right into the woods. He looked into burrows and all around trees. Franklin searched everywhere, but he couldn't find Fox. Fox wasn't in the woods at all. He was hiding inside Bear's house. After a while, he shouted, "Can't catch me!" But Franklin couldn't hear him. He was too far away. "Where's Franklin?" asked Fox. Nobody knew. They waited a long time. Bear's tummy grumbled. Finally, Goose said, "It's almost 6 o'clock. Franklin must have hurried home for supper." "Of course," they said, and off they went. At Franklin's house, the clock struck 6. Franklin's parents were annoyed. Their supper was ready. By 6:30, they were worried and went out looking for Franklin. Franklin's father searched along the path. "Franklin!" he called. "Where are you?" Franklin's mother talked to his friends. "Where's Franklin?" she asked Bear. "Where's Franklin?" she asked Otter and Goose. "Where's Franklin?" she asked Fox. Nobody knew. Now they were worried too. It was getting dark. Franklin turned one way and then another. Every tree looked the same. Every rock looked the same. He couldn't find the path. "I'm lost," said Franklin in a tiny little voice. He couldn't remember which way he had come. He didn't know which way to go. He was tired and frightened and all alone. Franklin curled up in his small dark shell and waited. Somebody would come. Sometime. Wouldn't they? Dark shadows flitted across the rocks. "Who's there?" whispered Franklin. But no one answered because it was the clouds blowing across the face of the moon. Ooh, ooh. Who's there? Whispered Franklin. But no one answered because it was Owl, far, far away. Who's there? Whispered Franklin. But no one answered because it was the wind whistling through the trees. Franklin tried to sleep, but every sound made him jump. He was humming himself a little tune when he heard crick, crack, crick, crack, crick, crack, swoosh. Who's there? Whispered Franklin. But nobody answered. Then Franklin heard a new sound. It sounded like someone was calling his name. He heard it again. I'm here! I'm here! Franklin shouted over and over. Crick, crack, squish. Franklin's parents came over the knoll. There you are! They hugged him and kissed him and held him so tight. We were so worried, said Franklin's father. You were told not to go into the woods alone, scolded his mother. It wasn't on purpose, sniffled Franklin. I was looking for Fox and I forgot. Well, thank goodness you're safe, said Franklin's parents. They found the path and walked all the way home. Their supper was still warm in the oven. After 2 helpings of everything, Franklin had something important to say. I'm sorry. I promise I'll never go into the woods alone again. Even if Fox hides there? Asked his mother. Even if Bear hides there? Asked his father. Even if everybody hides there, said Franklin. It was past bedtime. Franklin climbed into his warm, safe shell. Good night, dear, said his parents. But nobody answered because Franklin had fallen fast asleep. Well, that makes me very happy that Franklin was found. Franklin did something very important in the story. He knew that it was important to stay in one spot and that somebody would be out to find him. If you like, take a moment to reflect on how Franklin must have been feeling when he was alone, and how his parents were feeling knowing that he was not home when he should have been. Maybe you can write a little journal talking about how you think they felt. What could Franklin's friends have done to help? Could they have gone to his house and asked his parents if he was home? Have you ever been lost? Where were you lost? How did somebody know where to find you? Remember, at home you can talk to your loved ones about what to do if you find yourself in a situation where you don't know where your parents are. Remember to always listen to the rules of your parents. Thank you all for listening. I hope you enjoyed reading about Franklin today. Stay tuned for our next book at Bushels of Fun.